The Shy, Season 5, Episode 6, titled Bring It On Home. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. I do a plethora of things, reaction videos, reviews, anything that's relevant in the culture. Take a fly person like myself to talk about it. Most handsomest YouTuber probably doing this thing, probably the most flyest as well. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So last week we got Kemet back, and that's what I call Keisha Emmett. Don't laugh at my name. If y'all come up with a better name, if y'all got a name for Keisha Emmett together, put it in the comments, and I'll use it in the next video. But for now, I'm gonna say Kemet. That's Keisha and Emmett together. Call them Kemet. We've been wanting to see Kemet back together for the longest, and it finally happened. And man, they was doing it nasty. This show started off with everybody doing it nasty. Kemet, Kemet's mom and Emmett's mom and dad, they're back together doing the nasty. We got Emmett's baby mom doing the nasty with her boyfriend, and we got Trig doing the nasty with his boyfriend. So there's a bunch of things going on in this at the beginning of this episode. I'm like, wow, this is a lot right here. And listen, y'all know how I feel about The Shy. First 2 seasons I thought were great. With the departure of Jason Mitchell, I feel like they kind of been treading water, just trying to stay afloat. With the seasons 3 and 4, I actually did like the Keisha kidnapping story. I thought that was pretty clever. Ronnie was the last of that original cast that was actually interesting. So now we get a bunch of characters who are just, it's political. It's I'm not gonna say positive. There's no straight black male on this character that's not messy. Any black male on this show is either messy, he's bisexual or gay or et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not knocking that, but we need a positive, important black role model on this show that doesn't sell drugs. Jason Mitchell was the last one we got of that, where he was a straight dude, straight and narrow, had a job, wasn't into no BS, and was just trying to get his shit together. And Trig's character, I don't know. Let's just talk about the episode. So yeah, I like to talk about the good first. So we saw, like I said, Kemet got back together. Keisha is adamant that they tell Keisha, or what's his baby mom name? She's adamant that she tells Emmett's baby mom about the situation that's going on. Of course, Emmett is reluctant to say anything because he know how his baby mom is, and he doesn't want any issues at all. And now listen, I don't blame him because she can be scary. She can be scary at times. And I didn't know. I was wondering how she was going to react. It was kind of like, I seen this all over Twitter, and I had some bets in my house too. It was like, how is she going to respond to their relationship? And I thought the way she responded, that's not what I had in mind. I thought she was going to be like, all right, cool, I'm happy for them. Like, I don't want that nigga, you know what I'm saying? But we saw later on that wasn't the case. And, she was actually pretty upset about it. And we'll see what happened. I don't know if her and Keisha going to get into a brawl, but we actually did see. But at the beginning of the show, Emmett was reluctant to tell her because he just felt like she didn't need to be in his business, and he didn't need to tell her anything about it. And Tiff, that's what her name. I'm sorry. And that's what it was, So we'll see what happens. Well, when we get to that part later on. All right, now what else will happen? We see Trig has actually slept with his boyfriend, and they are going heavy. He's happy again, it seems like. And listen, they wrote Imani ass off this show quick as hell. As fast as she left, that's as fast as a new character came in. We actually got to see Dom this episode. We haven't saw Dom in, I don't think, at all this season. I think this is the first time we're seeing Dom. So I was happy to see Lala. but they reduced her rules significantly. Papa was completely absent this episode, as well as Shy and the little hood booger that he let stay at his house as well. And that's the thing with the Shy. Like, you got those stories, and it's nothing going on with that. But that's an interesting arc. You know, this is the kid that killed Ronnie, and he's just kind of just walking around, going down this downward spiral, and you're trying to save him. And it's like, dude, he took somebody's life. Like, I know Ronnie took somebody's life, but this kid just openly took somebody's life, and y'all trying to help. It just don't make sense. Like, he's a killer. Like, he a little hitter out here. But hey, it's a TV show. We see Jemma is trying to help old girl with her raps, and the song was actually pretty decent when I heard it. I'm like, yo, this ain't too bad. It reminded me of I'm trying to think who reminded me of rapping wise. It reminded me like a Glorilla type song or a Cash Doll or something when she was rapping. But yeah, Jemma the homie hopper is officially knocked up, and she's thinking about keeping the baby. And the whole thing when it happened, I'm like, neither one of these people are smart enough to conceive a child in this role. You know, I thought Jemma had some intelligence, but we clearly see that's not the case from the decisions that she are making. Jake is about as smart as the doorknob on my door right here. He looks dumb. He's just not a smart kid. Like, I hate this. I don't want to say nothing bad about him, but it just is what it is. You know, I'm just keeping it real. It's not me hating on him. I wish the man much success, you know, and I'm sure the actor is a decent actor and is probably intelligent. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe these two date in real life, so I think that's why their characters got swapped out and are now dating each other. But like I said, Jake's character he's a fucking dumbass. You don't want to have my baby. Dude, you don't even have your own house. Why do you want to have a kid? That makes no sense. You're not even out of high school. Make it make sense to me. We see Jake talking to Shad, and we see Shad's back on Tinder. Did I miss something last episode? Is he back on the dating market? Because I could have swore he was in love and dove. So it looked like he's back on Tinder or something. He's getting inboxes, and Shad takes him to school, and they're talking. He still hasn't told Trig that he's knocked up Jimmy, the homie hopper. So I don't know how Trig's gonna take that, but we do see later on they get into a little altercation, which I thought was kind of corny the way Trig kind of brushed him off and, oh, don't you see I got stuff going on? We see Darnell and Emmett's mom are going hot and heavy, and she's pretty much alluding to the fact that she wants Darnell to pop the question. And he doesn't want to do so. He's like, I ain't got nothing. Like, he's kind of like, I don't know. Like, he just had a look. And she's like, well, the next person that moves in with me is going to be my husband. Because he's insinuating that he wants to move in. Same shit Sway was doing. And she dropped Sway like a bad habit for Darnell. And now he's insinuating he wants to move in. But she's saying, listen, the next person that lives with me is going to be my husband. It's not like that. And he gave her a look. Then they got into a little argument, like a little tiff, just a small tiff. And he stated, listen, as much as you want to be wined and dined, I want to be wined and dined as well. And we saw that Jada was complied. Jada. It's funny how I remember her name now. I'm sorry, it's just been a long name. But she complies and she takes him out stepping, which I thought was cool. And I was telling somebody I was watching it with, I was just like, you know what would be playing if this person wasn't incarcerated when they were at the stepping, when they were at that stepping bar. We know He Who Shall Not Be Named would have been playing without a doubt. That song would have been playing because it's a Chicago show. That person is from the Chi, and I'm like, damn, that's one thing we'll never probably get in this show is music from that person. And shit, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. We see Jake's character arc is super lame. They have nothing to do with these characters. They really don't. They have nothing to do with these characters this season. And I hate that because the younger characters are what carried the show last season and the season before pretty much. But we see Kevin gets accepted into like this gaming, underground gaming culture type of deal. And he asks his weird girlfriend to go, and she doesn't go with him. But he winds up going, and he winds up blowing the bag, being too confident in himself. Goes in there and thinks he's just about to come and take everybody. And you see his little, you're not about to do me like that. I'm like, dude, if you don't sit your little corny ass down. But he gets his ass busted in the game, and it's bad for him. You know what I'm saying? It's real bad for him. We see Emmett decides to meet up with Tiff. He calls her and she comes over, and actually before that, we see Tiff wants to meet the Connect. And Iman is reluctant at first, but he sees she's serious and he agrees. Of course, she goes in and messes it up because she don't know how to finesse. She knows how to sell a little weed, but she don't know how to finagle and finesse and what the right things to say. And the character she met up with, I'm like, don't this dude look familiar? Ain't he been in other seasons? And she said this is who Keisha was going to see when she got kidnapped. So she blamed it on him, like, oh, it's his fault. It wasn't his fault, Keisha. I mean, Tiffany. It wasn't his fault. It was the person that took Keisha's fault. That's whose fault it was. But yeah, we see. It makes you wonder if Tiff's whole goal was to use him to get the plug anyway. But she's saying, listen, I want to be more like business partners than, just a worker. And he agrees, but it doesn't work out for her. They think she got a wire on, and it just doesn't go how she expects it to go. We see Emmett is confiding in Dom, and she tells him that he should tell Tiff. And she tells him about the big love circle they had. Like, your dad dumped me to be with Jada, who's beautiful, but he could have had me too at the same time. I would have joined. I'm like, oh, listen, I just don't feel like Darnell would have missed that opportunity. But then Emmett fucked Dom as well, and then was married to Tiff, but then is fuck Keisha before, but now it's back. It's all fucked up. It's just a bunch of fucking around going on. I don't know. Everybody's fucking everybody. That's what it seemed like. But yeah, it was good seeing Lala again, dude. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope. I wish they would have had more of her in the season. But hey, man, I'd rather take more Lala than Trig and the other girl anyway. Speaking of Trig, we see Hayes at like a charity type of event. He's trying to get donations for, I guess, his bid to be Congress or assemblyman, council member, whatever the fuck he's running for. And he got his little fake girlfriend, who is, ironically, both of them are dating the same sex, and they're both conniving and deceiving one another. So I'm like, this is pretty funny. And Trig, listen, you want to be in politics, you got to cut them fucking braids off, bro. I've never in my life seen any politician that had braids. It's not a thing. But I get it. It's TV. Trig is wondering like what's going on and why is this happening, blah blah blah. It's a rumor going around that Trig is putting on a facade with this young lady, in which he is, but I guess it's making the rounds and people are starting to hear this. So Trig, you gotta move smartly, and he seems to be completely infatuated with his new boo. So we'll see how that works, because obviously right off the rip, I just feel like I'm a secret and this and this and that. It's like, dude, you know what I'm trying to accomplish. Why are you trying to mess that up, you know? But even Trig has some questions, and she explains it to him. Listen, this is what people like to see, so this is what we got to do. Don't like it. And it's funny because she's sleeping with Candy and he's sleeping with old boy. So his character sucks bad. Like, I really just don't care for nothing he got going on. Papa's father comes to talk to him, though, and tells him, just to walk this truth. And things will be much easier when he does, and he agrees to. It's funny, we saw Papa's father, but we didn't see Papa actually in the episode. I gotta get a little chug. So yeah, they're in the car talking and blah blah blah. Emmett goes up to Keisha's dorm, and Why is she still living in the dorm anyway? I thought she moved in with Emmett. I don't know. This girl is all over the place. She don't know what she want to do. She's trying though. I applaud her for that, but she can't do it on her own. But Emmett comes in there and he's like, "Listen, we gotta tell Tiff." And she's like, "Nigga, I told you that." And Emmett's adamant about it, and you can tell he really cared for Tiff, or for Keisha, man, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? They've been through a lot together, and when Keisha went through her shit, Emmett was one of the first ones that helped her go through it, and I foresee these two getting married by the end of the season. So after Keisha meets up with old boy and get rejected, her stupid ass face is she goes back to the car, or she goes to meet up with Emmett, and she's it was funny too when Emmett was calling her and she was like, "This better not be your last ditch effort to get me back." And I'm like, wow, you think very highly of yourself. But Emmett wasn't. Anyway, Jemma and old girl are talking about the music. Jemma urged her to do a hook on the song, which is obviously more catchy for people. So she did that. She obliged to it, and it worked out. And the song was actually better. And she's trying to be there for Jemma as well. Like, yo, what you gonna do with the baby? Blah blah blah. And Jemma's still undecided. And listen, Jemma, I'm not telling you what to do, but Jake. Trig was preparing a speech the next day. Old girl's trying to train him, how to talk properly and what he needs to do, what posture he needs to have. And he's on the paper. They got something written about his mom, and he's reading it, and he's not too sure that he wants to actually go through with it, because honestly, I can relate to this because my mom's alcoholic. He doesn't know he don't know anytime she could kind of slip up in her recovery, and then everything he said will be in vain, and then it will look bad. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of reluctant to say what he needs to say, for the simple fact that his mom could relapse and it'll be an issue, and it just looks bad on his campaign. So that hurts her. She has a conversation about it and kind of brush it off, and he winds up switching the speech to Shad, and it winds up bigging him up and kind of saying how people could change. And I like how he took that conversation and changed it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. Emmett meets up with Tiff, and she is pissed. The look on his face is just like, but she got her little goofy little, she upset. I can't believe Tiff went out like this too, because I used to fuck with Tiff. And she is just straight, like, not thinking. Like, that's one thing, you want to move like a savage or a boss. But dude, it ain't like you bossed up and you got your own shit or nothing. You moved in with another dude, like, on some old crazy shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Then talking about, I want to have an open relationship. Like, get the fuck out of this girl. But anyway, Emmett tells her what's going on, and obviously she doesn't handle it right. She gets upset, and it's just like, yo, you can't allow me to be happy. But she's upset, like, listen, it's any girl in Chicago you could have dealt with. You want to talk to my friend, why would you do that? I don't know if she thought he was doing it to be spiteful, but he told her, like, listen, I can't help who I fall in love with or who I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, y'all ain't had sex, did y'all? It's like, bitch, we was having sex prior to meeting you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, before I even, or not even meet you, but like, prior to us getting back together, I was beating the brakes off Keisha. She probably don't know that, but yeah, maybe I don't even think she knew that. Like, they were having sex like back then. So, but it was funny seeing her like this. I was like, yes. I was enjoying it too much. And of course, she just walks away, doesn't handle, can't have a conversation. And she's mad. And she's sitting at the table with Iman. And, he's like, yo, let them be happy. You shouldn't be thinking about them. You know what I'm saying? If you're thinking about them, then you're not focusing on us. It kind of pretty much spitting some game. I'm like, okay, Iman. We see Jake has a talk with his mom, tells her that he got Jemma knocked up. And she asked if he told Trig, and he's like, no, Trig's been busy. I can't really talk to him, which is bullshit. You know, all you gotta do is say, yo, I got Jemma pregnant, or I got a baby on the way, and as simple as that. But we see in the next trailer what Trig's reaction is gonna be to Jake having a baby, and it don't look good. So we'll see what happens. What else happened? We see okay, I talked about them stepping on. They went to the step bar. Talked about him bigging up shot. The mom confronting her, and she pretty much got mad and stormed out. And we also see that Candy's character is revealing a plan to launch a rebranding or a new building of the building that they're in. They're opening like a newer location, and it threw Trig and the other lady off guard. So they like, yo, can we be informed when y'all making these type of decisions? And Candy's already throwing her weight around. Well, you work for us and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's shady. People shady as hell, man. But it is what it is. Her and Trig wind up talking at the end, and he's like, yo, do you think we're actually helping people? And she's like, man, depends on the day. That was a dope question, because I understand that, like, because it's a lot of shit that be going on, and it's wondering, like, is this in vain, or is this for difference? Is this just for publicity? Like, are we really doing stuff, or really helping people? Or do we really have boots to the ground? And I don't know. I'm not in their day-to-day, you know? The TV only lets us see what we want to see. So, yeah. Aside from that, we just see Emmett and, Keisha kicking it. And Keisha saying she been trying to call Tiff. Tiff ain't been answering. And then, that's when her and Iman had a conversation. We see Trig goes to his mom's house or her room to see her. She's not there. She leaves a note stating that she left again and I knew this was going to be a trigger for her because of that, the whole speech ceremony. She was upset about that, so she wound up leaving. She wrote a note, and we see Trig start to tear up, and I was like, oh, that's pretty sad. All in all, it was an okay episode. I can't really complain too much. I don't have too many gripes. It's just I don't know. It's just a completely different show. It is what it is. Anyway, post your comments below. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. As always, peace, love, and prosperity. I go by the name of the Black Abstract 1.